Hello, good evening. Welcome, Sandhya, to the studio.
Thank you.
And good evening to all of you who are watching at this point in time and who will watch this video later. You are tuned in to Poorna Wellbeing Samvaada. It was supposed to be scheduled on Friday, and due to technical error, we couldn't, and we thought we'll stream it today. So Samvaada, as you know, every fortnight we come, and then I invite a guest, and we have a meaningful conversation on a theme that matters to you, to me, and to everyone. So today's theme, as I present, is called Decoding Your Life's Design and Taking Charge. And this theme is very important to me, definitely, and definitely to Sandhya also, and which is why both of us are going to be spending our time here. To share a bit about Sandhya, Sandhya started her vocational life as a lawyer. When she was 38 years old, she reinvented herself as a technology recruiter. When she was 42, she started her career as an HR consultant, and she loved the fact that she could be with people, she could get to know them, and she almost found her passion there. Because when she was understanding others, she was understanding aspects of herself. And now, Sandhya is a biography consultant and the co-founder of the Association of Holistic Biography Work, and which is what we're going to explore today. And what is holistic biography work, and what does studying your biography mean, which is what we're going to explore today. The association is actually an international body of biography work practitioners like me, like Sandhya, and like many others who have graduated studying this beautiful, profound wisdom. So this, when we study our biography, it gives answers to so many questions, and that's what Sandhya holds very, very dear to her, because she has been carrying so many questions, and when she pursued this path, she got answers to many of them, and it helped her see her life in a perspective which was very different from what she used to think or what she used to hold. So today she champions that cause, and both of us graduated together in 2018. And I'm so happy, Sandhya, that you are here on the studio today. And we're going to explore this interesting topic together.
Thank you, Deepa, for having me. I'm also very thrilled to be here. And I should say that I've been really in awe of you, the way you do your work. And for me to be with, on a live with you means a lot, because I know the kind of investment of time and effort that you make into your work.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. As we say, only a like can recognize another like. So just a minute, let me switch on the light. I think light.
Okay.
Yeah, this is better. So to start this exploration, I think it would be good for us to know a little bit about your biography, and how did this journey begin for you, and the choice you made right now. How did it come about? I'm sure you would have had your own river.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and quite turbulent river in some places.
Sure.
Yeah, and so just to be very brief, I think the more than the experiences that I had, I think my internal narrative about what those experiences were, and what, the pain that I experienced out of those, out of that narrative. That's what actually made me look for a path where I can decode this. What is this about? And I mean, at the time when I was undergoing those experiences, they were just experiences, and I was reacting to them, and I was getting pained by them. Pain and joy, both are reactions. Right? So I was experiencing those highs and lows, but after I got so sick of that high and low, experiencing that all the time, I realized, I need to find a path where I can get some answers. And the start of my spiritual journey was with an organization called Seva, and I attended a basic course and an advanced course with them, and that was really the beginning point of my my journey, my self discovery journey. And when I encountered biography work, I knew that this was what I needed to do, really deeply understand biography work and apply it on myself. And it just gives a perspective of how we look at our life. Right? And each of us look at life differently. In fact,
Yes.
I've come to the realization that if there are two people in a situation, each person remembers that situation differently.
Yes.
And they understand it differently.
Yes.
So, the understanding that we carry of our life experiences and of the situations, that's actually what influences us to make choices and decisions that we end up doing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yeah. So you're saying we play our narratives. And it
absolutely.
takes a pause and a distance to really see, is it real or is it a narrative I'm playing and living
Exactly.
based on these narratives?
Absolutely right. That's beautifully summarized, Deepa. I really, we live our narrative. We experience, I think we are completely immersed in our narrative, I would
Yes.
say.
Yes. Yes. I
And
completely agree.
to pull ourselves out of this narrative and that immersion requires, I'm telling you, the grace from the highest. And I'm so lucky to have found that grace and uh, to have been able to distance myself from my life's happenings and experiences, and look at it for what it is. And believe me, it's an ongoing process.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I so resonate with you because, a month back I lost my father and I went to Mumbai and I was there for about 17 days. It was 17 days away from my family, from my work and all of that. And I know it made a hell of a difference to me.
Mhm.
So even physically, when you are out of
Yes,
the flow sometimes and
yes,
you look at it,
yes,
I
yes.
think it does a lot. And then you see what toxicity you're carrying, what narratives are you carrying, what are you living? Is it your
Yes.
life even?
I know. Sometimes it's unbelievable. Sometimes when I look back, I say, this isn't what I signed up for. So
Yeah,
I
exactly,
better make the
exactly.
choice that I signed up for.
Absolutely. So, what does really, we can say decoding our life.
Mhm.
So, uh, what does it really mean? What does it really entail? Who codes and who decodes?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Deepa. And it may sound a little difficult to comprehend, but we are the people who are coding, and what we need to decode is also something that is inbuilt in that. That's something that we give ourselves. So I'm sure the next question in everybody's mind would be, oh, when are we doing that? Uh, how does that happen?
Yeah, how do
Right?
you do it?
Yeah. So the coding actually happens before we incarnate into the world, and the decoding happens right here as we are living our life. And I really like that sentence from one of the books that I read, Bernard Livgood's books, Man on the
Mm-hmm.
Threshold, and he says that when you realize that the experiences you're having is part of a normal course of development, then
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it stops being frightening. So
Yeah.
we are not alone in whatever is happening to us. It's happening to every human being in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that is part of the decoding, just to understand that it's happening to everybody and at just different rates of speed. I think that is part of the decoding.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and also, certain truths which we don't encounter so easily, but when you hear them, you know it's true. So for me, the biggest liberating truth was I have chosen my parents.
Mm.
So once you realize that you've chosen your parents and you've also chosen all those people that you want to have in your life, then
Yeah, and the experiences.
and the experiences, and at that exact time you meet the exact right experience and the situation and the place and the person, and then that immediately lifts you out from being a victim to being in charge.
Hmm. But भूल जाते हैं Sandhya.
Ah,
I know all this, but in that moment, I
yes,
forget when I'm going through that, especially if it's a trial, if it's a difficult experience,
yeah.
then, and if it's ongoing for a long time, one forgets it. Then what happens? Then you need grace or what?
Yeah. Uh, I think, I have experienced that I always find somebody, either it's a person or it's just a message. WhatsApp may be, there are so many messages that come to you, right? Sometimes those messages are so apt, they're so right, and they just pull you out of that spiral that you are in. And also when I feel that when you are in a difficult situation, you go through it, but after you've come out of it, if you can analyze, if you
Yeah,
can look back, and if you
yeah.
can take
Well,
the
the learning.
learning,
Yeah,
yeah, if you can take the essence of it,
yes,
and then the process actually gets shorter. So what I've seen is, before I used to be in that long trial without even knowing that it was a trial, except that I was feeling really lousy and bad and ineffective. And then I was to just get into that spiral again and again.
yeah,
After that, when you start taking the essence of that experience, you are able to slowly, I'm not saying it's easy, I'm not saying it's quick, but slowly you are going to progress to a place where, as you are going through the trial, you're thinking, this is a trial, this is a difficult situation, this is here to teach me something. And
yes,
right at the beginning of it, you ask yourself, what is the lesson I'm going to learn from
yes,
this?
yes,
And then
absolutely.
the path just opens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I resonate with this because I think this journey for me, when I look at this word called dependence and independence, I think that's the biggest learning for me in my life, that I have lived very, very dependent,
Mm.
till a certain time, maybe till 37, 38. And then when I left corporate, I was literally on my own. It was so hard. And I'm thinking, why the hell did I leave my job? It was so good, to have a cushion corporate job. I mean, you have to
Yeah,
work there, but it's all
yeah,
safe. No?
yeah. You
But
get money in your bank at the end of the month.
yeah, you don't have to struggle. Like in now, when I look at now, it's 7, 8 years. And today, when I see, the biggest lesson I have learned is independence. And I think every minute, every hour, I'm learning that lesson more and more to get independent.
Yeah,
So it's amazing what you're saying is so true.
yeah.
I'm sure you have seen it in your clients as well.
Yes,
People you work, you
yes,
coach.
and absolutely. And when you're talking about your journey from dependency to independent, being a dependent, for me, the journey is exactly the opposite. I'm a
Mm.
very independent person. In fact, I was surprised that I could hold a job for 4 years. I had 3 jobs for 4 years. After that, it was impossible for me to work for somebody.
Mm.
And being independent, in fact, is not all that great as it is made out
Yeah,
to be.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So for me, the journey has been from independence to codependence.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Uh,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
get what you're saying.
yeah, and all of us have our tasks, our
Yes.
developmental tasks. And you know what's a beautiful thing, Deepa? We leave ourselves clues which we can then uncover and figure
Mm.
out
Mm.
what is the purpose of this life, or what is the theme of my life, what is the pattern of my life. And
Yes.
Deepa, we were discussing that yesterday
Yeah.
in terms of the
Birthing.
birth signature. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest clues that we leave ourselves, but
Yes.
even that has to be uncovered with the help of somebody else.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe your
And with
parents,
consciousness. Yeah,
and with
absolutely.
consciousness. Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
if anybody asked me to describe biography work in one sentence, I would just say living life consciously.
Yes, and when I work with clients, what I would say is, if you have a difficulty, the answer to the difficulty lies in your life.
Yes,
Because I, as a coach, can only mirror something, but I can't tell you what you have to do. So you
correct.
have to literally go there and search. And it's
Yes,
amazing, when we go back to our life and when we see patterns that have repeated itself, we see that the same thing has knocked our door n number of times.
yeah.
We have not heard it. We have not, our consciousness at that time was probably not there.
Yeah. Or we've opened the door and just not
Yeah,
recognized what it is.
yeah,
Who's this?
exactly.
What is this? Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
maybe,
we
and
have.
also think one more thing is, I think we have not been fed up with our pattern.
Yes,
Like you said,
you're right.
yeah.
Absolutely right. We've not got disgusted with our patterns.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Now, when we
Yeah.
get disgusted with our pattern, I think there is no looking back. You will
Yes.
seek to reach
Yes.
your highest.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. This
So,
has
which
happened
means we
many
can
times.
decode our life and live so awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so awesome. And then, you can actually make whatever you want of your life after that.
Yes.
You are not a victim of some circumstances or, some random things that are
Yes.
happening. In fact, the word random itself, I don't use it. There's nothing random about life. It's a beautiful design.
Mm.
And sometimes you meet people whom you have no idea how you came about to meet them. I mean, you
Yes.
could not even imagine.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
like, there's a person whom I met very recently, and she's my age. She's from Chennai, and I mean, we have like, she went to a convent, and so did I, and we both were like rival convents. Okay, so we have like so much in common, but we've never met all these years.
Mm.
And she's like exactly my age. I mean, we could have met umpteen number of times. There could have been so many opportunities. But I met her recently, about 4 or 5 months ago. And that's because I really needed her in my life.
Mm.
For her to show me how to take my work forward,
Correct.
and to give
Correct.
me like a very outside person's view on biography work
Correct.
and what we can do with it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
we do invite so many people like that. And uh, yeah, there's really, you can design where you want to go. There's no limit.
Exactly, exactly. To release these old patterns, we go to therapists, we go to healers. I have gone to therapists, like, for so long.
Yeah.
And then when I met biography work, I realized that we can really systematically first know our pattern and release our patterns.
Yes.
So, when you and I talk, sometimes people who are watching us may think it is magic, it's esoteric, it's not grounded in something. But I think we must bring that aspect.
Yes.
So, what is really biography work, and how can we systematically, help people and help ourselves in this process?
Yeah. So, Deepa, biography work is, it's basically looking at ourselves very objectively against a framework of human development. So, there is a human development framework which has been given to the world by Steiner, and Bernard Lipwood has further worked on it and given us a lot of milestones and a lot of things to look for in each of our 7-year periods.
Mm.
So Steiner had divided our life into 7-year periods, and human development framework is nothing new only to Steiner. I mean, Eric
Yes,
Erikson had given it. I mean,
yes.
it's so many people have
Freud,
worked.
Erikson, so
Freud,
many of
yeah,
them.
so many of them have actually worked on frameworks. And so, but what makes the biography framework so special is you can actually, I mean, it's like ninth year, ninth year is something's going to happen, right? And
Yes,
so when you are looking at your life against that archetype of that development framework, right? And then I'm not saying that for everybody it's going to happen exactly on your ninth birthday, just like clockwork. But we know at what times what to expect. So,
yeah,
like I said in the beginning, that quote of
yes,
Lipwood,
exactly.
right? When you're looking at your life against that background, against that framework, you're like oh, okay,
So it's
it's
normal.
fine. Yeah, it's
Meant to
normal.
happen.
It's normal for everybody. Yeah, it happens, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens during biography work is we realize that we have uh, the wisdom to understand our patterns and to change it also, and then choose something that uh, is going to be so much more beneficial for us, maybe beneficial for society also, and definitely for our family, because if we are going to become more settled, it's going to be better for the family. So biography work is just that, looking at your life objectively against the framework that has been given to us, and then to look for those clues that our life holds for us.
Yes.
So what are yeah what so what is the task that we've come with?
Yes.
What are we supposed to change or transform in our life? Why are we even here?
Mm.
Why have we incarnated into this body?
Yeah.
And so you'll realize that I'm actually referring to myself as something not of the body, right? So I'm actually a spirit who's
Cool.
living in this body for now, because I need to experience those experiences. I need to transform some of my, some of my shadows, or some of my doubles, whatever you call it, those not so great things about ourselves, to transform it and to really tune into that higher intelligence that is there, and probably bring some of the wisdom down here, and make our at least our immediate environment a better place to live in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when I hear you say, how would it be different from Eric Erickson? Because I love Eric Erickson's model of human development. Is there is a psycho-spiritual element here?
Mhm.
There's
Yes,
an
you're
end
right.
with psychology.
Yes,
And honestly speaking, I like that perspective.
yes,
That is really speaks to me. In the 3 years of certification that I went through with you, I think that's what spoke to me. There is a scope of seeing yourself as a soul. There's a scope of karma. There's a scope of relating to the zodiacs, to the planets,
yeah,
to everything in the cosmos.
yeah. Absolutely right. In fact, from the elements to the planets to the zodiac, the cosmos lives in us, and we live
Yes,
in the cosmos. Yeah. And it may sound fantastical, but uh, the more and more you study it, the more it just sits so beautifully within you, and
yeah,
it resonates so well. And what I have discovered is that it helps me to rise above, um, you know, the, the everyday life,
yes,
um, and to really look at myself and my life and other people in a
yes,
completely different perspective.
yes, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
uh, I was actually, just to give you uh, just to say this, somebody was saying that when you hear the truth, you know it.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
a resonance.
yes, there's a resonance, and it's like, yeah, that feeling. Yeah, that's true. There's no question of, is it
Yeah,
true? Is it
yeah,
really? No.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And
And
after that, it is, are you silent enough to hear this and feel this resonance?
yes. So
So
when
true.
the truth is there, and when you hear it, and you hear that resonance within you, you are you will know what you need to actually do then going forward.
So true. I can't agree more with you. I mean, it's so true. Like when Steiner talks about 37
Yeah.
is a moon node, and 37 It's a window for you to recognize what's your future work.
Yes.
I have seen with myself at 37, I quit corporate.
Yeah.
When I met this wisdom, I realized, oh my God, how is it so bang on? And when I've held space and I've coached so many people, I see at 37 these things happen.
Yes.
So either you go through a midlife crisis, then, or you quit, or you changed it completely.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
So and what you're saying, I had to be silent to say I am not going to office one more day.
Yeah. And that's it requires a lot of courage.
Yes, that's true.
It requires a lot of courage to take that step to change. You know what, Deepa? We've been talking about biography work, in all its glory, but it requires a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And I really want to say that, and because it's so much of just going inside yourself, tearing yourself up, uprooting all the beliefs that you held so close to your heart. And also, to realize that nobody is binding us to having those beliefs except us, giving ourselves the permission to uproot those beliefs.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
That's what I have learned. So when somebody asks me, "Aisa hi karna chahiye," so my question is, "Kyun?" Who is asking you that? Who's beating you over the head and say that you have to do things just this way? There's nobody. It's just that we are holding on to something because we feel that's the reality. We're just holding on to that.
Yes, that's true. I completely agree with you. I remember our teacher Karl-Heinz used to tell us that this is not for those people who are going through depression. Yeah. This is for those people whose ego strength is solid enough to be able to be a witness to your own life. And then look at it threadbare and speak and listen to the resonance of truth.
Yes, Deepa.
I very agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you have to be really courageous to go through this journey, through this process.
A lot of courage. You require a lot of courage. And I remember when the intake interview that Carl had for the 3-year course, he asked me, why do you want to do biography work? So I told him, not doing the biography course is not an option for me.
Correct.
I felt I needed it much more than air or water or whatever. And I don't know how I went through those 3 years. Maybe before every module, I used to wonder, how am I going to get the money to pay for the module? And somehow magically it used to come. So you need a lot of faith in the universe. You need a lot of faith in the divine. You need a lot of faith in yourself, a lot of courage in yourself to actually do this journey.
Yes. But the good news is, Sandhya, our life is anyway ongoing. It's going on. So if you don't do it, you're losing an opportunity to decode your life and take charge. Might as well see it, learn from it, and make a difference to your own self by yourself.
That's exactly
what is the point?
Now you have an option of living happily, living consciously, living with a lot of control over your life. I don't like to use the word control, but I think just the fact that you know what is going to happen and you know you can handle it.
Yes, absolutely. So true. So true. No, it's very true. And when this happens, there's I think one of the concepts that we keep hearing of self-love, self-acceptance, I think we all hear it, but many times it's paid lip service to. I may not even know how to accept myself, how to accept. But today, after so many years of inner work, I know that I'm just good the way I am. I'm beautiful the way I am. This process helps us go there after all the chiseling that happens. But what do you think? How does it, because in this, you know who are you, what's your temperament, what's your real nature, what are your shadows, what's your light? So can you share some perspective on this?
Yeah, sure. I think when we go through that systematic study, firstly, and also when we get tools to work on ourselves,
Yeah.
you are. Uh, so the biggest concept here is that whatever you are enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we accept that, because all our life we are trying to do something, fit into something that we are not,
Yes.
when we realize first that we came with enough, whatever our
Yeah.
challenges are, whatever our gifts are, we
Yes.
came with the right set of tools for our
Yes.
work, rather
Yes.
than force fitting our work to our just for force fitting ourselves into our work. If we
Yes.
can force fit, if we can fit our tools, what we have, and choose a path based on that, we will uh, we will be so fulfilled, so happy. We will not feel the need to be something that we are not.
That's true. That's
You
true.
know?
And
So
it's really a pain to try to be
yeah,
something we're not. I have tried
it
that in my life,
doesn't work.
and I
So
have suffered.
yeah, only when you try to do that, you get into that whole thing of I'm not good enough. I don't have this, I don't have that. So I can't accept myself the way I am because I'm measuring myself against some other standard.
Yeah, 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 exactly. So it's almost like returning home, isn't it?
Yes.
We knew our home, भटक गए हम यहाँ वहाँ चले
Uh,
गए. Now we are saying that okay, we're coming home, and at
yes.
home I'm always comfortable.
Yes. And this is, I just want to take a minute because I think we're nearly at time, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
sure.
okay. Yeah,
But, I've always been a person from childhood. I've had huge faith in the goodness of human beings. I, uh, I, despite the fact that I used to read so many murder mysteries, I still think that human beings are intrinsically good.
yeah,
I don't feel threatened by human beings, but all my life, my parents and everybody else whom I met, they used to say, you can't trust human beings blindly. You can't have faith in their goodness. They're not always good. Uh, but I deep down felt that people are good. And
mm,
if you approach them with that,
yeah.
they will be good always. After biography work, after I have done biography work, I am quite comfortable to fully own this, that I have faith
Mm,
in human beings.
yeah.
Otherwise, I was always in doubt. And I used to tell myself, you're so stupid that you trust these people and they're going to just stab you in the back. Yes, there are a lot of disadvantages of trusting people
Yeah, yeah,
blindly.
yeah.
But the trick is to actually understand that it's not a reflection of you. That's who they are. You don't
Mm,
have to subscribe to,
mm,
whatever is the outside belief. If you are
yes,
going to be true to your belief and your uh, deeply held faith, I think
yes,
that is really being your highest self. To be
yes,
able to you are
yes. Absolutely,
without any
absolutely. And
questions,
that's the
without
best
any
service
doubts.
we could. Yes,
And I
we could
think
do.
biography work, especially the spiritual aspect of biography work, has given me that.
Yes, and that's the best service we could do to ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Sandhya, before we close, I would like to share about the I would like you to share
Yeah.
about the upcoming biography conference. That
Yes.
of course, it is for those who are trained, but
Yeah.
we will also hold some interventions for those who are not. So,
Yes.
if you could just share, I'll pitch it.
Yeah. So the association is organizing a 4-day gathering that's only for biography professionals, of course, November 19th to the 22nd. We are planning other events for other people, who are not biography practitioners. who might have attended courses or just interested in self-development. So we will be announcing, festivals or, events, things like that. I'm going to be announcing a very brief Decoding Your Life workshop in September. So we can have tools and we can actually work with certain um, patterns or whatever issues people are facing in a very systematic manner. I'm also going to be announcing a whole intervention on parenting. So I'm calling it Decoding Parenting. So that's something that's very close to me because I feel that kids are really the future of the world, and if we can parent them consciously, then we'd be bringing a lot of well balanced and children who are, I mean, human beings who are just so who are able to take ownership and move ahead in their life powerfully.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
So beautifully said.
yeah. So these are some things that are coming up, and and I also like we spoke about, Deepa, start a Facebook group for people who are interested in self development. So we will be reaching out, and we probably get a lot more conversations going about self development, the beauty of discovering yourself and being whom you really are. And that too is an ongoing process, discovering as well.
Absolutely. And when we decide to do things for non-biography trained people, at that time we can also post it in this Poorna Wellbeing group so that all the people who are viewing it can make use of it.
Yes, definitely, Deepa. Definitely.
Beautiful.
Great.
Thank you so much, Sandhya, for I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
it felt
Deepa, for
reconnecting.
Yes, and it's a pleasure always to talk to you. Thank you so much for having me on your on Samvaad this time, and I think that we've probably made us. I've made some change in people's thinking, the way they think about their life. Your questions were beautiful, really, thought provoking. I think many people would start thinking about how they want to live their life.
Yeah. If we can make a difference alone, collectively, I think I will live my purpose, and so does that space belong to you. So we did it together.
Yes, thank you, Deepa. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you so much for watching. For all those who are watching. Thank you.
Thank you.